What's up, everybody? Did you think I missed? You probably did, huh? Nah, that's not in OG's vocabulary. Can't talk about it, you gotta be about it. And just a reminder, if you guys are still struggling, not knowing how to get started with your fitness journey, go ahead and shoot me a DM and leave a message or a way that I could contact you. That way we could jump on a phone call and I could get you started on becoming that best version of yourself. There ain't really nothing to it, people, but to do it. You can't talk about it, you got to be about it. And before I go on, first and foremost, I want to give thanks to everybody that has subscribed to my channel. I've gotten 1,000 subscribers as of yesterday. I didn't even know how to keep track of how many subscribers I had until it was brought to my attention. I was watching one of my favorite YouTube channels. It's actually a couple of them. They're pretty well known out there. I'm not going to say their names because I didn't ask their permission, but I'm more than sure you know of these two individuals. They have a lot of love from their subscribers, and they also have a lot of trolls. One is from a very beautiful place that I'm familiar with, by the beach, by the coastal area, I should say. And the other one was from up north. Bang, bang. But anyways, yesterday while I was watching my boy's channel, he gave me a shout out, man. And it meant a lot to me, you know what I mean? That right there is a true camarada right there. You know, I see he gets a lot of hate on his channel from trolls, obviously, you know what I mean? Because us real folks, we could call it how we see it, you know. We're pretty good at being able to weed out bad weeds in the garden. I should say, you know, I'm keeping this as rated G as possible because I know there's a lot of sensitive ears out there, and I see it all the time amongst these two individuals' channels, man. You know, it's crazy. To me, it's humor, you know what I mean? Because every person has their own story, you know. And for people out here in this social media world, trying to put a jacket on somebody and they really don't even know the true background of that person, you know what I mean? That puts you in the wrong right there from the start, man. You know, you guys really got to knock that stuff off. Why would you want to try to stop another individual from growing and becoming that best version of themselves? It's wrong, man. The opportunity is there for anybody and everybody. You just got to go out there and you got to put in the footwork and just never give up. And like I've said in the past, when you set your goals, don't set them off too far. It's just like what I tell the people that sign up with my fitness team. Set little goals at a time. Set your goals for the week. You conquer them. And every week that you conquer a goal is another add to your success story. They just add up. They start adding up, and they accumulate. And throughout these goals, you start achieving more results. I'm speaking on behalf of my team members. Every week that they conquer their goals, they get that much closer to reaching their final goal. So it's smart and wise to set little goals, because when you set them too far off in the horizon, what happens is you end up getting discouraged because you don't get your results the way you wanted them and in a timely manner. A lot of people expect stuff to happen overnight. It's not. It's just like, I'm going to give you an example. I go to a lot of car shows. I'm invited as a special guest to a lot of places. And there's a lot of homies, a lot of individuals that have some beautiful, beautiful cars out there. This is something that they didn't just put together overnight. It took time, over time, to perfect what they got, to put out there on display. You have to learn to enjoy the journey, people. Don't ever rush the process. Always remember this: simple scales and fancy fails. Anyone that's going to be in a rush is going to have to go back and backtrack to find out where they made their mistakes. Why? Because when they rush the progress and they don't get the results that they were chasing after, now they have to do research and go back and do more homework. They're working twice as hard. So get everything done right the first time. Take your time, people. When it's your time to shine, it will be your time to shine. Like the perfect example with me, my younger homie inspired me with this YouTube stuff. Another one of my homeboys as well. I got a couple homeboys that have their channels out there. Incredible Javier, Sharpest Heart. Those are the homies, hometown, homegrown. I'm a little older than them, but I remember when I first got out, my younger homie wanted to do an interview of me, and I wasn't comfortable with that, because growing up in my time, we weren't allowed to be on interviewed. It was just against our rules. Nowadays times have changed. You know what I mean? Because I see people coming out on this social media, and I guess they're locked up. You know what I mean? Because I know in my time, even this last rodeo that I went through, anybody that had access to a horn, to a phone, wasn't doing anything of such nature of posting themselves, because you got to keep in mind, law enforcement is always watching, especially them guys in there with those sitting around in them offices doing them 16-hour shifts. Man, them cats get bored, they're on social media, you know what I mean? And you're just gonna burn the spot. You will get recognized. You better believe that. So come on now. Everybody's real familiar with faces in there, especially when you do time with them day in and day out. And then them huras, they're doing time with us just as well. Some of them are guards, and some of them are correctional officers. And those of you that know the difference know the difference. I know the difference. I've been blessed to do, when I've done most of my time with a lot of guards, not these gung-ho people, you know what I mean, that were like, I guess you could say the new booties, ones that weren't really laced up. But anyways, yeah, so anyways, I know I'm bouncing around here and there on different topics and stuff, but yeah, like when I first got it out, my homeboy wanted to do an interview, and I was real reserved on that, and I didn't. And then eventually I got together and started doing a fitness thing, because I thought to myself, I gotta get a life or end up doing life. And the reason is because that last little rodeo that I did, they sent me back to the joint for some fucking petty ass shit, man. I mean, this shit was so petty. This was not in my cup of tea. You know what I mean? I got around and started messing around, fucking around, and got caught up with doing, what I was doing out there. You know what I mean? Got caught up in that dope game with that kri man, and that shit almost made me forget my identity, man. That shit is terrible. I'll tell you that right now. But anyways, I was thankful that I got arrested, man, because it saved me. Or else, I could have been one of them persons, that were really down on their luck and found myself in the riverbed. But as for myself, I could tell you right now, I wouldn't have let myself get to that level. I would have taken to the next level and caught all day. That's my mentality. That's the way my mentality works, because I won't go out like that. I was at my worst, and I'm glad I got busted. It was a short little, what was it, 32 months with 80%, some bullshit like that. They were trying to give me 7 years for some bullshit. And the younger homies that I was in that 900 floor with, and for those of you that remember, there was like 3 other of my homeboys. They made the news and all that, and they're only getting like 7 months, county time. It's like, damn, shit, that's love, you know what I mean? But to each his own, you know what I mean? And like I said, it wasn't even my cup of tea, the shit that I got busted for is crazy. But that's just a true example of the way the system works. Your jacket follows you in, I guess, priors. Just priors. They haunt you. You know what I mean? You really never get done doing your time for your original sentence. At least in my case. You know what I mean? I can't speak for lifers because their system may be ran differently. They did their life sentence, and they may I don't know if they're cut clean with it or not, or they could still be priored upon that. I'm sure they probably can, because the legal system isn't really there to work in our benefit. I mean, you could work it to your benefit if you know how, but it's like a catch-22 going through it when I was there. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Back in the day, a lot of people, they would shoot a youngster that was naive to the system, tell you, hey man, we could give you a county lid, or we could give you a 3-year joint suspension, and you don't even have to go to jail. Right away, this youngster, scared, he's, yeah, give me that 3-year joint suspension. You know what I mean? That was a straight setup. Especially if you're gonna be out there still goofing off and shit. You get caught up, you go back to the joint for 3 years. You know what I mean? You could have did a county lid, and back then, what was it? I think it was 920. Do 9 months and 20 days out of it when I was going through there, and then it went down to it's like practically nothing. The lucky sevens. I wish I would have had some of those back in the day, but for those of you that know what a lucky seven is, you get processed in and processed out. But anyways, yeah, I wanted to give thanks to all my subscribers, man, for supporting me. Like I said, I wasn't aware of that 1,000 subscribers until my boy from that beautiful beach up the coast, you know who I'm talking about, was an ex-lifer. He went on there and said, hey man, go follow my boy High Power Fitness. The next 50 subscribers, he's 10 subscribers away from being 1,000. He said 50 of my subscribers, go over there and subscribe to him, and my shit just boosted up, boom, just like that. Love, man. And it was from all my homies too, from my homies that all support me, especially the ones that have their YouTube channels, and that other individual from up north that showed his support as well. And that's what I'm talking about right there, man. No discrimination from anybody. Show that love. Help one another. Reach one. Teach one. Like I preached on my first video with Mr. Goto's Julio Sanchez, who is part of my fitness team. Well, anyways, people, with that being said, man, I'm going to give you some quick words of wisdom. When you think long, you think wrong. And remember, when wisdom speaks, knowledge will listen, people. So now with that being said, if you haven't got up and got yours yet, make sure you get up and get yours. There ain't nothing to it but to do it. You can't talk about it, you have to be about it. And remember, it's not how extreme you go at the gym, it's how consistent you are. That's where results come in. The best results come in when you have a nutrition plan dialed in for you. If you're still struggling and still spinning your wheels and not knowing where to get started, shoot me a DM, leave me a comment how to get in contact with you, and I will get you started. Like I said, I will get you started with the very basics for free, people. What are you scared of? I'm just a phone call away or a message away. Now, with that being said, much love and respect to everybody. Now get up and get yours.